Hello, everyone. It's just me for now. Lorenzo's hungry. He's got to get some food real quick before we start, but I wanted to get the ball rolling here, see how you guys are doing. It's probably best for me to get this part out of the way because I like to rip the Band-Aid off and let you all know how much I really love and care about you deeply. And that's how I've always done it, no differently ever. So glad to get started in a truthful and honest way. We have a lot of great things to talk about. The last episode, I sort of last minute had my brother and cousin on. They were great. We had a lot of fun doing that. I'd like to have family on more. The only problem is they're unpredictable. My brother and I are probably the most, in sync, whether he'd want to admit it or not. We can sort of vibe together and keep the show moving. Cameron, I don't know if you saw last episode. If you watched last episode, it takes a little bit of a second. He has his, 2 seconds in, he brought up this alien thing that wasn't on the agenda whatsoever, and I appreciate it. I'll take what I can get in the way of stories. Lord knows I struggle to run a good program here, but that's just his nature to go down these side roads, and we love him. We love both of them. It was a great time. I want to have my mom on at some point. I think that'd be fun. I'd like to have my dad on at some point. I don't think that would be fun, but I'd also like to have my Nana would be great to talk to, because the thing about her is she can do that. She can just talk. And in fact, she sent me a text message I'd like to read aloud if I might. Did you check your email today at 6:05 p.m.? So let's go ahead and check our email and see what she's done. I think I have a sneaking suspicion about what she's referring to. I won't pull my email up on screen. Hopefully not. Yes. Regina Morris. Hi, babe. I need you to fill this out so you can do Zoom audition. I told them about you, and I know you got this. Call me, please. From Applause Casting, forwarded. Okay. Thank you for signing up to audition with Applause Talent. We look forward to meeting you soon. Absolutely no cell phone usage during audition process. The date is Tuesday, June 27th. That's when this audition is. This audition that I've been volunteered for at 7 p.m. Please bring photo ID that matches name on appointment. What did she say here? She said, I need for you to fill this out so you can do Zoom audition. So hopefully I get to do the Zoom. Okay. I hope that I'll be able to do the Zoom. Okay, look, listen. My God bless her. My Nana, she has no fewer than 6 Facebook accounts, on account of the fact that she's been hacked into at least that many times, right? So when I get an email like this from from Gina Morris, from some email, not even my grandmother's full name, I'm just immediately suspicious. And when it's some click here to expect what to expect at your auditions, I'm doubly concerned. So it's nice to get text verification an hour ago here, knowing that this is truly from her and that this is a real opportunity to do something that is probably totally meaningless, and that probably won't amount to anything and probably won't materialize into anything at all. So I'm really glad to pursue this now. At least I have time to prepare. Let's see let's click here. Hopefully it isn't a virus, and hopefully I haven't been duped. Oh, awesome. It's not. Great. Cool. I can show this on screen. Sorry, I would show the body of the email, but I don't want to risk doxing what is my grandma's real email, turns out. I'd hate for somebody to find a way to hack into that based on my little podcast here. So I don't know if you can see this, Lorenzo. You can chill and eat your cereal while I kind of go through this here. Oh my God, why do I have this? So, we just had them on, that's why. Awesome. What to expect at your audition. CDC and local guidelines will be observed. Okay, cool. 2, acting is for everyone. Be prepared to read one of the short scripts below. Experienced actors can bring their own 1-minute monologue. Memorization is not required. You can also choose to sing, dance, and model. Okay, singers. 1 minute without music, clean lyrics. Dancers, 1 minute routine, bring your own music, clean lyrics, and device. Models will post for a few pictures. Important, no profanity or suggestive material. So already, initially I'm under the impression that this is some sort of radio commercial, something. Like, I don't even know what this is for. There are no details in here. I'm just pulling up the email now. I just said screw it. There are no details whatsoever. This just says arts. So
you should forward that to me so I can practice for my voice acting.
Yeah, no, for real. Well, it's not voice acting. Apparently, this is like a TV commercial, or maybe like an online ad campaign. I don't know.
I'm gonna read the first one. What up?
Let's.
Extreme Jello sticks. It's godly Jello fun in a tube. The extreme fruity flavor just might make your head good. Extreme Jello sticks. So extreme. Yeah. How's that?
That was pretty good. That's pretty. Except you said goggly when it says jiggly, but
I can't read that shit.
That's why we rehearse, and I know. And it does say no memorization required, but you do have to be able to read it. So I'll do this. I'll enlarge it for you. Can you read it now? Is that a little better? Okay. Let's do that one again, because I had you muted and I didn't realize that, but the people heard you through my mic, so they heard it. It was just it was quiet. So now they can hear you at full volume, do it correctly, which is even better. So go ahead.
I do the Raisin Bran.
You do whichever one you feel comfortable. I think it's you only get to do one too, which is even better. You get all these prompts, you only get to do one.
My mom likes Post Raisin Bran because it's good for me. My dad likes Post Raisin Bran because it tastes good, but I like Raisin Bran because I love all those plump, juicy raisins.
Yeah. So I don't think that's gonna. So let's just say this is radio, because first of all, that no one's gonna believe you're a child at all. You could shave. You could. It's not gonna work.
I'm just a big kid.
Yeah. You're like what's like Ben Stiller, like Simple Jack in like Tropic Thunder, or like the Forrest Gump knockoff.
Oh my God.
So that's not going to work. But what is going to work? So let's imagine it's a voice audition. Can you give us a taste again real quick? So I got you off the screen. Let's just listen.
The Raisin Bran? Let me chew.
Sorry, I'm getting texts. There's just a lot of annoying stuff going on in the background. If I look irritated, it's not a result of your audition.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
My mom likes Post Raisin Bran because it's good for me. My dad likes Post Raisin Bran because it tastes good. But I like Raisin Bran because I love all those plump, juicy raisins.
Now, I should have stopped you because I had a note immediately. And the first note is that this is a Raisin Bran audition and not a Power Rangers audition. Not a Mighty Morphin Power
Rangers. Got me excited about it.
No, I get it. But, we gotta do some voice affectation. We need to maybe a different octave even. All you've really done is you sound enthusiastic, right? But unless you want to be a grown man mentioning how much your mom loves Raisin Bran, something tells me that's not the angle the prompt is going for.
I'm going to tell you something. Women play children characters on TV, okay?
They
Well,
do
they
the
do,
voice.
but that's because they have the register to play
Yeah.
young boys,
I don't got it.
and even still, they have to. You can do it. I've seen you do it
They got
before. High voice. High
When have you
voice.
done?
I'm going to take you off the screen. High voice. You got this.
Okay. Okay. Is that good?
Are you going to read the thing?
Hold up. Hold up. I don't want to do it. My mom likes Post Raisin Bran because it's good for me. My dad likes Post Raisin Bran.
Okay, stop.
Uh-huh.
You're not even at like Chris Tucker octaves. You know what I mean?
Do a high ass voice.
Just take it up.
Okay.
Don't be
Okay,
afraid. Take it up.
Okay.
Hold on. Sorry, it's cutting out. Back off the mic a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Post Raisin Bran because it's good for me. My dad likes Post Raisin Bran because it tastes good. But I like Raisin Bran because I love those plump, juicy raisins.
That's what I'm talking about. Round of applause. I mean, that's committing right there. Now, did you get passed over? Of course you did. They did not pick you. It would be no surprise to find. But at least you gave it like an honest try, right?
Oh my god.
Like, see, I'll give my impression. You can be brutal, do whatever you have to do, but this would be my interpretation going in cold. You know, I haven't prepared prior to this.
Mm-hmm.
The same prompt.
Mm-hmm.
This is Post Raisin Bran. I see what you went through. This is tough. Even like gearing up for this is rough. My heart's going. We do this thing where we record and put it out for people, and I don't have a problem doing that. But as soon as I go to like embarrass myself sounding like a kid, then it gets real.
Because kids don't sound how I just sounded, like demons do.
Here we go. My mom likes Post Raisin Bran because it's good for me. My dad likes Post Raisin Bran because it tastes good. But I like Raisin Bran because I love all those plump, juicy raisins.
That was actually believable. That was almost good.
Okay, almost. I'll take an almost. I'll give myself some applause for that.
A little more practice and you gonna get it.
You know what? That was like a knife to the chest for me. I'm going to be honest. Because we did I did all this big talk about what's about cosplaying and you know, just how like unacceptable that behavior is, embodying these characters that people don't have any business pretending to be or pretending to sound like. And this, for me personally, this is in large part due to my imposter syndrome that I deal with each and every day, of just like, I'm not good enough to even attempt any of this. So why should I do that? And why should I certainly shouldn't do it in front of a microphone or a camera on a platform that I intend to broadcast myself falling flat on my face. So these exercises are tough for me. But I used to have an affinity with voice acting, and I used to really be good at doing voices and cartoon characters in particular. I had my whole Rolodex, you know, people have like Peter Griffin and whatever, but I'd have like some obscure people that guys weren't ready for. So it'd be like, oh shit, okay, he can do Sheen, or he can do you know, like somebody you don't expect. But I can't do any of that anymore. That's something that I really had to practice in my room by myself, like a schizophrenic, like insane person, like going back and forth between Cleveland Jr. and Sheen, and you know, and Chowder or Mung Daal, you know, like that takes practice and dedication that I don't have anymore. And I used to be able to do just about every accent under the sun too. Every like regional affect.
Puerto Rican, Dominican,
Yeah.
Argentinian.
And the subtle difference between like a Spanish accent with like the lisp thing, and then the, like you said, like a
Okay.
Dominican, you know,
I see them. Okay.
shit like that. Let's do travel Aruba. This is easy because this one is just standard. I'll put the camera on you. You be the judge. Let's do a rating. Let's do 1 to 10. 1,
I like
of course, being worst, 10
Mhm.
best, and you can give me a brief explanation as to what I did wrong. This is a cold read. I have not read over this. Here we go.
Let's go.
This is Travel Aruba. There's an island so unique even the trees bend to your wishes, where people smile when they say hello. You may not feel a drop of rain, but you'll love the water. It's all up to you on Aruba. Call your travel agent or 1-800-2-ARUBA. Aruba, the island for you.
I'll give you a 6.
See, I would say my pacing was off because I tried to read ahead and get there, and I'm not going to lie, some of this didn't make a lot of sense to me.
You got to make people want to, hey, if it makes sense, it don't make sense. You got to make people want to go.
Yeah.
You gotta be ready to sell fucking water torture to people. Water torture. You'll love it. You always be hydrated. You know, I don't fucking know.
I think I took like the Sandy Shoals approach, you know, where like I'm hearing the Hawaiian Mario Sunshine music in the background, and but what I should have been doing is like a Super Soaker commercial. Is that what you're saying? Like I should have
like
gone all in.
It has to be enticing. I feel like you're doing more narrative. You gotta be enticing. You gotta make it sound like it's good. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I'll do one reread here. Here's take 2 of Travel Aruba.
Music would help though. 'Cause
It would help. Here, let me get some music for myself. I have some songs here. I just don't know which one would be best for this situation.
Something Caribbean.
I know. I just don't have anything Caribbean. Oh, here we go. This will work. Oh, no. That's not going to work at all, actually. Here we go. I like this. Can you hear this? Probably not. It's okay, though. The people can. So this is Travel Aruba. Travel Aruba. Here we go. There's an island so unique even the trees bend to your wishes, where people smile when they say hello. You may not feel a drop of rain, but you'll love the water. It's all up to you on Aruba. Call your travel agent or 1-800-2-ARUBA. Aruba, the island for you.
Okay.
So I think the music does help when you have a background. You know, it does. It leans you into it. It helps you do the Michael Jackson bend forward without falling on your face, you know, the death lean. Not to bring Michael Jackson into this.
That old man tried to do it.
Yeah.
The little thing.
Now this one I want to do in a deep voice.
Which one?
This Lifesavers one. Something about skimming this tells me this is like almost like a 5 Gum style commercial, you know, where it's like very niche. The approach is shock value. That's what.
Or like an Arby's commercial.
Yeah, or like an Arby's commercial. But I'm thinking like there's no music in this. There's just like rapper sound effects, maybe some crunching in your mouth, or you know. Exactly. Like this is one of those. I'm not going to whisper though. Here's my take on this Lifesavers commercial. So I'll keep myself on the screen so you guys can read along. This is the Lifesavers here. What can you say about Lifesavers? They come in 5 delicious flavors, like lime, orange, and my favorite, cherry. They're full of life, but the best thing to say about Lifesavers is yum. I don't know. Maybe we'll take it up some. Because when he says full of life, that needs to sound more joyous. I almost hear like in my head a wave wash over you, on that line or something, or like the seagulls sound effect. They're full of life. Or maybe even a harp, like fairy sound effects on this line, you know, if I'm thinking of the VO with sound effects. I don't know, do you have an interpretation of this one in particular?
I'm thinking like, I thought yours was good, but at the same time, I'm like, maybe if a kid did it.
Mm-hmm. A kid. Now, are you talking like a teenager or like a little kid? Like the Raisin Bran.
A little one could do, but I'm trying to think about like a young adult maybe.
Yeah, okay, this does seem like a Disney Channel XD commercial, you know, like
the best thing to say about lightsabers is yum.
Yeah. No, that I would give you an 8 for that voice. That inflection right there, that was actually perfect. That was a good stinger at the end. Is yum. That was good. Okay. All right, I need to step my game up because that was like the perfect interpretation of that. All right, let's do one more. We'll have a read off. And I know there's no judge here to objectively decide who wins, but I think we can go by the honor system. So let's do Danimals. Or no, hold on. Let's do Pepsi. Or Pepsi or Ben and Jerry's. You pick. Because they could both be any age.
Ben and Jerry's is kind of no. Ben and Jerry's can't be a kid talking about certified organic ingredients.
That's what I'm saying. Like these two look like they could both be any age. So we really have creative liberty here with either one of these prompts. Which one do you?
Pepsi. The haircut thing is funny.
Okay. Do you want to go first or me? Or we can do a coin toss. Do you have... Oh, hold on. All right. Heads or tails?
Heads. I stay ahead.
All right. I'm tails here. Going first.
Oh boy.
Here we go. This is Pepsi.
Let's do it.
I'll put the camera on you, and you can give me a rating. Pepsi. What makes you cool is your attitude, your inner self. It's not the way your hair is cut. It's not the clothes you wear. It's not what you drink. Or is it? Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
Okay.
I feel like my go-to is always like narrator, always like not quite nature documentary, but documentary of some kind. Not nature or true crime, but like I don't know what my instinct is. But 1 to 10, what would you say that was?
That was actually pretty good. That was it didn't fit completely, but it was good.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say like an 8.5.
My approach was all age groups, so I chose like almost surfer white dude without the Californian like like none of that. I took the voice, I took the spectrum, and I crushed it into that. So, okay, well, you give it a go. Let's hear you take a stab at it. All right.
What makes you cool is your attitude, your inner self. It's not the way your hair is cut. It's not the clothes you wear. It's not what you drink. Or is it? Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
Okay, Allstate. I'll give you that. That was pretty good. That was better. That was better than me.
Thank you.
That was good. I'll give that a 9. That was a 9 right there.
Hey.
I feel like as soon as you brought up Arby's, you were like, I gotta pull that one out at some point. I can't do Arby's guy. I can't do him. That's way too long. What makes you cool is your attitude. Yeah, no, because at a certain point, it gets too breathy. It's like my low falsetto, if that's the thing.
I was trying to do one of the high voices earlier, and I was like, yo, I can't breathe.
No, it's
I gotta start running again.
I can do like weird high voice shit, but where it sounds fake though is the problem. Like I can do a baby voice, but it sounds like a D. Bradley Baker, like a SpongeBob baby voice, where it's like clearly an adult. Like you know what I'm talking about, like where it's clearly an adult. Like
Yeah. Oh,
you know, like shit like that. Like I can do that, but but it's gonna be clearly fake. So like if I did the Danimals thing here. Danimals is the food that tastes not all kids will agree on. It's a calcium, protein, vitamin D, and it tastes great too. Danimals better every day. You know, like where it's like almost like Yoda, like
like
you know, like a Elmo, like Elmo Tom. You know, like in that. What's the fucking guy's name? What's Muppets old dude's
Kermit?
name? No, what's the guy? Jim Henson. Like it's almost like the Jim Henson territory.
Mm.
Like where I said like Yoda.
That's pretty damn good though. I
Damn,
like
it's yogurt.
Yogurt, I like.
Yeah. Fun shit. I'm not gonna do this actually. So we spent how long? 20 minutes reviewing these. I will not be auditioning for any of this.
Did you notice when you're supposed to do it by?
It says, it doesn't say July 27th.
Is that what it says?
Oh, forgive me, June 27th.
That's why I was laughing.
That's hilarious.
I looked at the date and I died.
Yeah, why? That's. Hang on a minute.
No.
This lady wants to text me. Did you check your email when this is for?
I looked at that thing, I looked at my phone, and I was like, oh shit. And I started laughing. I was dying.
Yes.
I wasn't sure if you did it yet. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Hilarious. I'm gonna text her back. I'm gonna say it's a June.
Vote for us.
That was
Maybe it's for next year. She's giving you time to prepare. I know it says Tuesday. Never mind. I don't think that's June 27th.
it might not fall on a Tuesday.
Mm-mm.
That's hilarious.
Oh my god.
Well, you know, it's the thought that counts. And at least she thought to text me following this suspect email so that I'd know it was actually her. That's what matters.
Ask her when she got the email.
Yeah. I'll
She'll
do
be
that
like,
later.
Someone sent it a month ago, but I forgot to send it to you.
Yeah. Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Fun stuff. Fun stuff. That was just such a good time. Oh, hey there, Mr. Plump. What's going on, bud? Where's your bitch at? Oh, she is. She is.
Mr. and Mrs. Plump. Ryan's gonna bring him on the show when he comes.
You better.
Fucking better.
Expect nothing less. Oh, we didn't get this far into it, or we might have skipped around. But Ryan, he doesn't trust people with cats. He thinks they're like pedophiles, and he hates cats. So is that going to be a problem when we have him on? I'm not even joking. That's like a big. He takes like 2 minutes to explain why he hates women with cats and why he hates cats. So
You better stay digital. I better never see you. I better never see you. I tell you what. Tell you what.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting. As soon as I saw that, I was like, I don't know if this is viable anymore.
Let me catch him.
Yeah. All right. Well, we went over Ryan with Aiden and Cameron on the previous episode, but I'd like to delve into you were telling me when I was getting into the Flash movie how I enjoyed it. I wanted to say as well, I kept saying I enjoyed the first viewing, and I kept emphasizing that because the second time around is when I noticed a lot of the digital shortcomings, a lot of the terrible CGI, especially what I failed to notice the first time as much. I did catch it maybe once or twice, and there are so many scenes. There are countless scenes of both flashes side by side, future and past, or sorry, future and present Flash together. Yeah. But what they do a good job of, at least the first time around, I found, is pulling your focus away from the person's face who's clearly the body double, who's clearly not Ezra Miller. So you're always your focus is always pulled toward the person who is themselves in the scene, acting Ezra Miller as themselves, right? But the second time around, when you see a movie, especially in a theater, I find I have a tendency to look around at things I maybe didn't get to focus on the first time. So I'm examining each scene, each setting. You know, there's a point where they go into Wayne Manor, the Tim Burton Batman's house. So the first time around, I'm looking at the focus, which are the characters walking through the house. But the second time, I'm looking at all the decorations on the walls and stuff and everything in the set to see if there are any fun things like from the 1989 Batman, that like any callbacks to that. Like I'm looking for maybe the painting with the cameras behind it, or I'm looking for the night statues that the reporters were making fun of, you know, stuff like that. But what I'm also being pulled to is the body double. And up until this point, I didn't even really realize it was a body double in as many scenes as it was when the two Flashes are side by side. Because like I said, the first viewing, I maybe only saw the past Flash's face like twice, where I really noticed it looked kind of janky, kind of like a Snapchat filter. The whole movie is like that, though. It's the entire way through. Like, they do such a shitty job mapping this person's face on this other dude, and it's like, it's a shit show. It's awful. So I don't recommend seeing this movie in high definition twice. See it once in theaters, enjoy it that way, enjoy all the Batman shit, and then get the fuck out of there and maybe revisit it on Max at a later date. On Min.
I watched it yesterday.
You watched it?
I watched it.
Where at?
I watched it in theaters. It's Cinemark.
Okay, yeah, Cinemark. What'd you think?
It was straight. It was interesting. It was, you know what I'm saying? My thing, I was like, I don't think he actually had to give him powers to keep his powers. I don't know. And then when he did give him his powers, I was like, I knew he was going to lose his powers because he was going to get hit by the lightning again. I was like, oh, hell no. Nah. And I was like, you don't got to explain shit to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was like, you should have sat him down and not said shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was a little whack. Him like I don't want to get hit by lightning. Yeah, that was kind of ridiculous. Just an excuse for him to lose his powers or whatever.
Exactly. Because real talk, if you know you're guaranteed to get powers, you're going to get hit by lightning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
And at the same time, I don't understand even why he lost his powers. Am I to assume that the event that caused him getting the powers, if that happens again, that it removes it just the same, you know?
I guess it's a pretty specific event, though. So, like, I guess I could see how.
But why would it be undone? Maybe there's an argument that he'd become double the Flash he was before or something, maybe, you know?
Maybe he, like, overcharged and lost power, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Didn't make a lot of sense. Wasn't that intuitive. The most intuitive it was that you're just supposed to accept it at face value and move on and not read into it at all. And that's a lot of the movie too, with the time travel logic. Batman does a decent job of explaining away a lot of the time travel flub ups and just weird nonsense logic, illogic, whatever you want to call it. And it still doesn't really make sense the way he explains it. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
When did DC start doing the little after clips? They didn't always do that, did they?
They did.
Yeah.
And I think it started with Batman versus Superman. Because they didn't do it with the Christopher Nolan Batmans. They didn't do it with Man of Steel. But it started with the Deathstroke clip in Batman versus Superman when Deathstroke comes up to Eisenberg, Lex Luthor, on the yacht. And then there's the one in Justice League with Martian Manhunter, I think it is, right? And then after that, there's ones in Aquaman. There's one in Wonder Woman and Wonder Woman 2. I don't remember either one of those.
I didn't watch any other Wonder Womans.
The first Wonder Woman was good.
That's what I heard.
That the guy playing Hades was pretty good, I gotta say. And you don't expect him either. That's the thing too. Like he's kind of like hidden the whole way through, like pulling the strings.
They're making a Blue Beetle.
I did see that, and that looks pretty bad. Not gonna lie. That looks no good, if I might say it in Spanish. No good-o for George Lopez. Pour one out for George Lopez in the chat.
I saw that,
Yeah. In his mullet, whatever the fuck they had him looking. Yeah. Not boding well. Not by that trailer anyway. But that's not what I'm here to talk about with you. What I want to get into. Enough with these dumb auditions that aren't going to materialize in anything. Enough with this dumb talk of the DC extended universe. I want to talk about the Ezra Miller extended universe. Because the last time we talked about The Flash, you said you didn't know jack about what this person has been through.
I think a lot of people don't know for
real. I'll ease in with this. Coming off The Flash, this is Ben Affleck's takeaway from filming the movie. So Ben Affleck is out speaking with press, and as always, that means the topic of Batman is sure to come up. With the Flash movie on the way, this is before the release. This is January of last year. So this is right after he filmed his scenes. He said, I have never said this. This is hot off the presses, but maybe my favorite scenes in terms of Batman and the interpretation of Batman that I have done were in the Flash movie, said Affleck. Would you agree to that? Did you like the beginning of the movie as much as I hyped it up?
It was pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
Like, I didn't know if I oversold it or what, but to me that was my favorite part of the entire thing. Like there wasn't a part of the movie that overlapped the seamlessness of the action and like sort of like the edge of your seat dynamic of like, okay, I want to see what happens here. You know, I really did not care as much with even when they're breaking out Supergirl. I couldn't give less of a fuck really watching it. I just was watching it to see what Michael Keaton did, not so much how they get out of this pinch. You know, I really didn't care. Like when the one gets shot in the leg and shit, like I was just like, okay, I don't give a fuck. Like this is just goofy to watch. The whole thing of like the canister gets knocked over and it makes the sound. It's like, why didn't he use his powers and run over there? If his brain is operating at a faster speed, he should have just been able to grab that immediately. It doesn't make sense. But with the Batman chase scene in the beginning, it all made enough sense to keep you like engaged. And all that baby bullshit in the background was just what it was. It looked bad. Did it look bad? Or did it look bad? So
He put the one in the microwave.
Yeah. And that shit looked like it looked like a fucking GameCube game, didn't it? It looked like a GTA
Oh,
cutscene. The way that the shit, it looked like Final Fantasy on the fucking Xbox 360. It didn't look like.
oh shit!
It did not look like a major
It did
motion
look
picture.
like a little video game, fucking mini game. He
Yes.
locked the babies up, and then he fucking ran with them on the cart and shit, like a little fucking
Yes.
Resident Evil cutscene or some shit.
Those special effects were not up to par. Were not up to par.
Fucking,
Like I said, if you watch that again, I guarantee you'll see the face tuning was terrible as well when it came to putting his face on other people. But
oh my god.
Ben Affleck was more than satisfied with his performance in this movie, and so was I. I think this was a great send off for him in this role, and I'm sure he'll reprise it at some point in another crazy convoluted multiverse thing like this. Because what I think when people see, as they have seen, the way he conducts himself in the role in this movie, they know that that all the potential that was seen in him this whole time was finally realized, and that it's possible to make a good Ben Affleck Batman
Indeed.
scene, even, dare I say, even Batman film. So
There was interesting parts. I mean, I think just like all the like different Superman and Batman cameos, really, I think that's what was really neat.
yeah. But
Yeah.
even with those, I mean, they all looked shitty as fuck. They all
Did
looked.
Nicolas Cage ever play Superman?
He did, but it wasn't released. It was never seen to fruition. So yeah, Nicolas Cage has a cameo at the end. It's all CGI and it looks like shit. Where he's fighting a giant spider. But yes, he had the suit outfitted for him. I think it was actually Tim Burton directing that, I want to say. So it was to come off the heels of the Batman craze, everything. And they were taking a darker, like, route based on an obscure comic that Kevin Smith actually talked about a lot for a while. Like, it'd be cool to see Superman fighting this giant spider, and then there it was realized in CGI finally. So all of that. Oh, go ahead.
I was kind of mad that like they kept dying no matter what. I was like, why can't Supergirl beat him no matter what? You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I guess I do get it because it like makes a point in the movie or whatever. But I was like, how come she? I'm like, she what? How come she? I guess because like she was locked in a hole forever. I don't fucking know. But I'm like, son, she can't get this man. He's stabbing her with like.
Yeah, she doesn't know how to use her shit, and yeah, she's been like tortured, and it's all explained away as like it's destiny, and it needs to happen this way. There's no way around it. So,
shaking my head. I'm like, girl. First off, I'm gonna be real. I'd have ran before I let them kill me. I'd have, you know what I'm saying? Because Zod wasn't even flying and shit. He wasn't even using his powers. He was hardly fighting, and he still beat her. Son, I couldn't imagine you fighting somebody and they one hit you with like some skinny ass fucking needle. You know what I'm saying? That's fucking wild. That's wild.
and I guess whatever it is, yeah, can pierce their skin or something. I don't fucking know.
Fuck that shit. Whatever.
Whatever the material was.
Got her ass, boy.
Got her ass. She was done. Dead to rights.
She should have ripped his mask off. Isn't that what Superman did?
Yeah, but she didn't. Yeah, she didn't think. She wasn't thinking. So there we go. And that's the whole movie. I mean, just stuff like that explained away. Like, there's no other way around any other. So, yeah. I mean, speaking of explained away, Ezra Miller's past has just been brushed under the rug for this movie.
I can imagine.
To the point where they're at the red carpet and everything, you know, like, I mean, like, truly just like all is forgiven style.
I'm really curious as to why they pushed on with it. Like, was it necessary? You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess, but
I think
like,
because there were just so many things riding on this movie, like so many people too involved. Like
yeah,
truly, like Ben Affleck was proud of this, So
yeah,
it's a big deal when he's like, "Oh, I can finally show people that I'm good
yeah,
at this, and that I was a good pick for this in some way, shape, or form." It took a while, and I'm only in this for like 8 minutes, but still,
yeah.
it works, and it did work, and then it's cool to see the reprisal of Michael Keaton's Batman. It's cool to see the ideas, like you were saying, all the Superman cameos, and so the Christopher Reeve thing at the end. I mean, like that looked bad, but it was still there, So
Oh my God. And then the speedster, once he got that second or third piece of stuff stuck in him, that's when I realized that he was the other speedster,
uh-huh.
the one that pushed Barry in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at first I was like, who the fuck is that? I don't recognize that motherfucker from the comics or nothing,
Uh-huh.
covered in rocks and shit. But yeah, once he kept going back and he got like that second, I was like, why does he keep getting pieces stuck in him and they're not going away? And then I was like, oh
Like
shit,
that
he's
guy has a bunch of pieces of something in
yeah.
him. Oh
I
my
was like, oh,
god.
he's the other guy. And
Yeah.
then they fucking showed the scar and he's like, oh, you're me. And I'm like, yeah, I figured that out by now.
Hmm.
You know?
That was for the little kids that wouldn't have
Oh
put that
yeah.
together. And that
No, and
actually
then the
happened
thing
in my
too.
theater. There were a bunch of little children. They were like, I was like, it's okay,
Nah.
guys. I've seen this before. Calm down.
No, and my thing too. So when he killed old girl because he had the shit in his arm, why he didn't go kill Zod?
Yeah.
He could have killed everybody at that
Yep.
point. And like it's super speed because they're fast, but they're
Yep.
not as fast as them. He
He
could have
could have killed every single one of them with those
everybody.
arms. Yep.
Everybody.
So
Mhm.
again, a lot explained away. That is no longer what we're talking about, because I mean the movie was what it was. You know what I'm saying? Like the movie.
No, hold up. One more
No, go
thing.
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
When he went back to try to save them, he still had his shit in his arm,
Yeah.
and he didn't kill everybody.
Nope.
And then and he kept doing it, and then he's like, "How? Why did he get a bunch of pieces on him?"
Yep. I mean,
Where
to
the
the point where he's basically covered in this armor. You know what I mean? Like he's basically impenetrable now.
he still couldn't do it.
Yeah. No, it doesn't make any sense at all. It makes zero sense whatsoever. It's complete nonsense, right?
Oh shit! DC's gonna be knocking at our doors.
Oh yeah. I mean, like they thought we were gassing them up. No, I'm here to tell you the movie is not good by any means. It's not like a solid
When you
like
see it from a creative standpoint, as someone who's made content, you know what I'm saying?
yeah. I mean, it would take us a few drafts to be like, okay, at some point they would be able to do this, right? How
This
can we
guy-
find a logical way to stop this? And they don't. They don't explain that out. They don't find a way to say this is the line in the sand. It doesn't make sense for them to continue. This is where they have to be stopped. And for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, at the end of the movie, and this is spoilers, whatever, I don't care. I mean,
don't.
they have to beat Zod because he's invading at this point in the past Flash's world. It's a part of his timeline where Zod invades Earth. And they can't find Superman, but Superman is Supergirl in this world because Kal-El is dead and never got to grow up. He died as a baby.
Yeah.
But Supergirl starts beating on Zod and everything, but she gets killed over and over again, and they keep going back in time to stop it from happening. Or the young Flash, the past Flash, tries to keep rewinding time. And it doesn't work every time they lose, and he has to do it again and again and again. And the old Flash is like, stop it. It's not worth it. This is another event that can't be changed. All these timelines intersect here, so, but they don't do a good job of like definitively explaining how, because as they reverse back in time, they get an advantage of some kind. And there's a certain point where they get enough advantages where it makes sense for them to win.
Yes.
Where it doesn't
because
make any sense for them to lose anymore at all.
the first time they went, I was like, okay, so the big ass Kryptonian who refuses to fly for some reason he fucking Batman's weapons couldn't hurt him. I
Well,
guess I get
and
that.
you know what? And you know what those two are based on, right? The lady and the big guy. It's Superman 2, the Christopher Reeves Superman. It's Zod's like 1 and 2. It's the lady and like Andre the Giant.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about? Let me look up Superman Returns or whatever.
He came with it. I was trying to remember if he had them in the last movie.
Yeah, Superman 2. Zod. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, it's these three. So this is the big, tall dude, like you said, who wasn't flying on the right, and it's the lady. I don't know. This is when they break into the White House and tell the president to surrender the army and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, she was the lady was the only one flying and shit and using her speed. She was zipping and tossing motherfuckers.
Yeah. So in this movie, they realize that they all have different powers.
Oh.
And like this guy can like jump super high and shit, but she can fly and she's got like the ice breath and all that shit. And then Zod has the laser eyes and pretty much everything that Superman has. So these two on the side aren't quite as powerful, and neither are the Kryptonian army. I mean, you don't see them doing all that shit either. The only difference between this old movie and the Man of Steel was that they needed the breathing masks or whatever to stay on Earth.
I wondered as well. I was like, so what? Superman and Supergirl, they came as babies, so that's why they could breathe our air. Is that what it is? Like,
yeah,
or I don't know.
exactly. Like they were unable to withstand the Earth's atmosphere or some shit like that.
I guess because they grew up. I don't know. It makes sense, but it don't. It's whatever.
They just tried to find a way to restrict Zod's powers, and they had to give him a face apparatus to do that, I think.
Hey, what works?
But it wasn't the case in this old movie. In this old movie, he had all the powers, but everyone else didn't for some reason. And there was only 3 of them. It wasn't an entire army. So it was like they were 3 super powerful people who had to be stopped.
Oh, my.
And what was it? So where were we going with this? Yeah, they couldn't find a way in the Flash to surmount the challenge despite getting upgrades each and every time they go back in the past. It did make sense.
It was the first time. So Batman didn't get hit by the ship. I'm surprised he didn't dodge that or something, or like try to get out. I don't know, whatever. But then when they brought him back and no dude got him, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, with both Flashes, they didn't try to like save, and like Flash, the other one, how come he just laid there when they stabbed Supergirl twice?
Yeah,
and he could have moved her at super speed because she could have withstood it. So it don't matter. It don't matter. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to beat this to death. I mean, I would rather beat Ezra Miller to death. He should have been put to death by now, as a matter of fact. He's a menace to society.
Indeed. Oh, shit.
And that's what I want to go over. I could talk about the movie, though, and we'll do that offline, because I do want to have a discussion. But I know we have to get you out of here at a certain time, and we've already been going almost an hour now just talking about this fucking movie. So
it's so frustrating.
Let's get through. I just want to explain his situation so that you can understand, because you didn't have any context even seeing the movie. So seeing the movie, did you look anything up about him? Did you find anything out about what's been going on in the news in the background?
What we talked about.
Okay, so now this is a deeper look at some of the shit. So what did I tell you? I told you he like kidnapped somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's check it out. So this is an Esquire article from June 14th this year. So this is a recap of everything that's going on up to this point. And it's kind of died down because of press and because of them trying to rehabilitate his character. And I've gone to now another screen. No one's sitting in. Hi, how's it going? I'm really trying to get my shit together here. So if you haven't seen the stream of Ezra Miller news over the past 2 years, first of all, how? And would you like to explain that maybe? How you've avoided hearing about this? Because you didn't even know who Ezra Miller was. I had to tell you that it was the person playing the Flash.
I've never heard his name before in my life.
Yeah, so, okay, well,
In my
that's how,
life.
I guess, Esquire. I hope that answers your question, Brady Langman.
Ooh.
DC Studios is planning to release The Flash later this week. As new DC head James Gunn said in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Andy Muschietti's The Flash is probably one of the greatest superhero movies ever made. No. After dozens of quotes from DC Studios executives praising the film, the massive superhero blockbuster is finally here. At the film's premiere in Los Angeles on Monday night, Miller made their first public appearance in over 2 years. Over 2 years. They were not in the spotlight. That's some serious, hey, let's take a step back. Let's withdraw. Let's reset. 2 years. That's nothing to, that's like some Britney Spears conservatorship shit, That's some restriction. Made the first public appearance speaking openly about their legal woes. They thanked DC heads James Gunn and Peter Safran for your grace and discernment and care in the context of my life, as well as bringing this moment to fruition. Calling the director the maestro, they said, I think you're amazing and I think your work is monumental. So the comments mark some of the first news regarding Miller that we've seen since September's bombshell of a story from Vanity Fair. That report offered multiple new details about Miller's supposed spiral, but mainly something for the question on all our minds, why the hell is Warner Brothers still releasing The Flash? Well, apparently because Miller apologized. So, yeah, done. Right?
Oh.
Makes sense, right? I mean, they apologized, so you can put the movie on now, right? Because they said sorry.
Oh, okay.
Does that check out? I'm serious.
I mean, it looks good to me. I just wish I knew that was possible.
Yeah.
I wish I knew that was an option.
Like everything could just get like clean slate, right? Like everything's dropped.
No, me myself, I don't know how to say those two words.
Oh, okay. Maybe it
So,
is bigger than I'm giving them credit for, right? Because I mean, they can do it. They've proven capable of apologizing, at least, right? Some people can't. You're saying now you can't do that, so maybe.
I don't think I can do it. I just don't have it in me. Let me try. What's the? It's
Yeah.
some shit. Where's some shit?
Okay, Ezra. Okay.
Yeah.
Bigger than some. Bigger than some. I still think maybe the bar's a little low. Right? Maybe we raise that bitch.
Yeah.
Just a tad.
It's a little too difficult
Just
game of
a
limbo.
little sliver.
Yeah.
A smidge higher. Right?
Mm.
Apparently, because they apologized, Miller allegedly made a trip to the studio's Burbank, California headquarters to apologize for the negative PR in person and express renewed commitment. So because they apologized to studio heads, it seems they were able to let bygones be bygones and release the film anyway. Okay. So that's not to say that they've adequately made good on all this going on outside of the movie, but I see. The rest of the Vanity Fair story leveled new strange Miller-isms, which included a source alleging that Miller saw himself as the next Messiah, who believed the Freemasons were sending demons out to kill them, among other things. Vanity Fair's report followed an update from Rolling Stone, which detailed how Vermont State Police were unable to find a mother and her 3 children who were allegedly living in unsafe conditions at Miller's farm in the state. Reportedly, police attempted to serve the mother with an emergency care order that would take away the children from Miller's property. The repeated attempt to contact the mother, apparently, is what resulted in police charging Miller with felony burglary. Vermont State Police also report this occurred after police found out that several bottles of alcohol were taken from the residence. After looking at surveillance footage, they found probable cause to charge Miller, who was issued a citation to show up in Vermont Superior Court for arraignment in late September. So they were housing people at their ranch. MJ, not to keep invoking MJ, but I mean, a little Neverland situation, right? We got going on. minus the roller coaster rides and
Yeah, not even a zoo or nothing.
yeah,
just
minus the chimp. What was this chimp's name?
bubbles.
Bubbles. Minus Bubbles. No Bubbles.
Boobies.
Probably some horses, but
Oh my god.
of course there has still been many more accusations belied against the actor, including several arrests. Miller has also responded to the general public, offering an apology and a promise to seek help. Here's what you need to know. Here we go. Now we're getting into the meat.
Sink your teeth.
I wish I
in.
had some big, like, bolded headers here, but we'll just go through it one by one. You stop me if anything sounds incredibly interesting, and I'll try to do the same.
I got you.
We'll
All
zoom
right.
through this. What allegations have been made? On June 23rd, Rolling Stone reported that Miller had been hosting a mother and her 3 children at the Vermont farm. Yep.
Okay.
The mother, 25 years old, told the Rolling Stone that the ranch has been a healing haven for us after leaving what she described as an abusive relationship with an ex. Yet the children's father, who opposes the living arrangement, said, "I got a bad feeling in my stomach. I do want to get my kids. They mean the fucking world to me." So, good dude sounds like. I mean, this dad seems like a real piece of work as well. I mean, maybe,
Sounds like a really good dad, Yeah. I want to be a dad just like him one day.
Yeah, you do.
Just like him.
Just like, you think it'll be possible with the vasectomy, right? That you...
Yeah.
I mean,
Through hopes and dreams.
miracles have been known to occur along those
I'll pray
lines.
to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Oh,
of
right,
Nazareth.
good. Well, you got to pray to Ezra in that case because they're the Messiah.
Oh yeah, shit, my bad.
Yeah.
To our
Don't
Lord and
don't
Savior
forget.
Ezra.
Ezra Miller.
How could I mistake? That's why he could travel.
Yeah.
Travel from time.
You gotta face. What direction is Vermont from here? Is that west? Face west to Miller
Face west.
Ranch
Another pray. Oh
to
shit.
pray. Yeah, get your carpet out,
Oh shit.
get your rug out.
Oh my god.
2 sources told the Rolling Stone that at Miller's 96-acre farm property, quote, there are unattended guns strewn around the home. A source also alleged that one child picked up a stray bullet and put it in her mouth. Reportedly, a social worker visited the home and told the children's father that they, quote, looked good, yet there was, quote, more work to do. Okay. All right. So, I mean, like, that's just a farm. I mean, he's keeping there to keep them safe. The guns are there to keep them safe from this crazy person who loves their kids, Like, I mean, where's the crime there? Sure, kids put things in their mouth all the time. They think they're M&Ms. Can I tell you right now? They see a rat turd on the ground. They think, hey, it's a Tic Tac. Ooh,
Yeah.
Mommy, they're making chocolate Tic Tacs. And then next thing you know, they've got like diphtheria or whatever you get from eating rat shit.
Yeah. God.
But now, okay, so a bullet, sure. Did they swallow it? I want to hear that the kid swallowed it and it got lodged in their esophagus. That's what I want to hear.
Yeah.
And what I'm not hearing. So
He said just what I'm doing.
praise Ezra. I mean, I think we're in the clear so far. You guys, please, Rolling Stone, let's not blow things out of proportion.
She's actually tired of the child, and she prayed that she got an abortion. And Ezra's like, "It's a little late, but I got you."
Please let her choke on one of these small caliber rounds. In Ezra's name I pray, amen. And then the next day, sure enough, but the social worker had to find out, of course. There's always a catch, right? There's always, it's that
It's like-
Rumpelstiltskin thing, where
Oh hell! What the fuck? Oh shit! Ain't no way.
The report from Miller's farm followed a story from June 8th when TMZ was the first outlet to report that Miller had been accused of grooming Dakota Iron Eyes since the latter was 12 years old. 12 years old. 12 years old. 12. That's 1, 2, 12 years old. In court, documents obtained by People, Iron Eyes, and their name is Iron Eyes because they're Native American. That's their given name. This 12-year-old Takata Iron Eyes, full name. Iron Eyes' parents, Chase Iron Eyes and Sarah Jumping Eagle, claimed that Miller has been manipulated. We gotta stop real quick. We have to stop. I mean,
What?
is it too late to like change race? Can I do that? Because I want. No, I'm serious. I want to be.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I was like,
I mean, for real.
what?
That's
I
like
was
some
like,
Wonder Twins shit. Like you can just become. But I
No,
am now Christian Bucket Hawk, or like Hatchet Hawk. So I want it to be badass. Not. I just said Wonder Twins, so I thought Bucket, but
It's gotta be like the whitest name though. Like
yeah,
Christians, I feel like that's more of a black name. It's gotta be like a really
Jonathan.
white
Yeah, or like
name. like a
Thomas
Kyle.
or Clarence Caillou. Yeah,
Yo, shit. Oh shit.
Caillou camera phone. Just whatever you can see around. It's a white name, and then whatever
I just look
objects you find.
Oh, shit. My God.
Timothy speaker system. Yeah, it's very it's very intuitive.
Francis traffic light. Oh my God.
Oh boy.
Yeah. No, I got one for you.
Yeah, please.
Daniel White Doctor.
White Doctor. Okay. That's more like an aspiration. I don't think that Sarah Jumping Eagle is aspiring to be an animal that can leap high, you know what I mean? So
Eagles don't jump. So like
but White
maybe-
Doctor is like, I'm white and I'm gonna be a doctor. Like that seems like
it doesn't
an ambition,
Well, it was actually a black doctor that they saw,
Oh,
but
okay.
they want their kid to get a good job, so they
Okay, cool. That checks
they're
out.
like black. They're like black doctor.
We want
He's not
we want
getting
him not to end up at the inner city
any-
ER. We want him at the, we want him at the Centara facility. Okay. The Iron Eyes' parents claim that Miller had been manipulating their daughter for years, saying that Miller, quote, took an immediate and apparently innocent liking to Takata. Even more, Chase, I think that's a typo. I mean, I did read Case here. Chase.
Oh.
I'll say Chase and Sarah alleged that Miller gave Takata marijuana, LSD, and alcohol as a teenager. Yikes. In the court documents, they went on to claim that Miller, through the Quiet organization, let's capital, I guess that's a thing, offered to pay Takata's college tuition. This past December, Takata allegedly dropped out of school and later traveled to Vermont, New York City, Los Angeles, and Hawaii with Miller. Chase and Sarah in the complaint added that Miller, quote, uses violence, intimidation, threat of violence, fear, paranoia, delusions, and drugs to hold sway over a young adolescent Takata. And there are videos of this girl in vehicles, supposedly being trafficked, being traveled around the country. I don't know if there are any of the two in frame with one another, any videos per se, but there are like photos of them together and shit. It's a lot. Like this is where shit went off the rails for a lot of people, and people were really like, okay, this person needs some surveillance, pronto, or they need to be apprehended.
Dangerous person.
This is getting weird real quick. In a statement posted to Instagram amidst the allegations, Takata Iron Eyes defended Miller. Takata's parents told people that Takata doesn't have a phone and that they, quote, doubt whether they wrote the statement. So this statement put out in defense was suspected to have been authored by Ezra, possibly, is what they're explaining. Then on the morning of August 4th, Business Insider published a frightening report that tackles almost all of the allegation made against the star. The story, written by Malcorca Licea and Katie Warren, demands to be read in full, with highly specific claims of abuse, grooming, and emotional manipulation. Let's just click on this to see if we can. That's Ezra. Oh my God, please no. Please no. Please.
Oh my, that doesn't even make sense. If it's $1 for monthly, why would I pay $49 for a year?
It's just the first month is $1. It's a trial.
Oh.
It's not even a free trial. It's $1 trial. Fucking
But,
stupid.
You
It demands to be read. I think not if I have to purchase it.
know.
I think not. With highly specific claims of abuse and manipulation, it's impossible to detail the findings without diluting its reporting. But this is as close to a summary as the story. Oh, thank God, we get it summarized. Insider, which has spoken with 14 people who had recent interactions with Miller in which the actor exhibited frightening emotional outbursts, carried firearms, or left them feeling unsafe. Some people said Miller sought out impressionable young women and non-binary people whom they could isolate from their families and control. In some cases, Miller had sexual relations with these people. In 2020, during a roughly 2-month stint in Iceland, where Miller walked the streets barefoot, rumors spread that the movie star was running a cult out of an Airbnb. The beginning of the story detailed an alleged incident where Miller had slammed the door of an Uber so hard on Sarah Jumping Eagle, who was trying to retrieve her daughter, 18-year-old Takata Iron Eyes, whom Miller has previously been accused of grooming, that she needed medical treatment. So this was the first instance of assault documented against Miller, was that the mom was trying to get her daughter back, and he slammed her in a car door to the point where she needed treatment. So yeah, I do remember hearing about that. I don't know if she fractured something in the process, but from there, Business Insider details Miller's behavior in Iceland, where their makeshift commune, their monologues on spirituality, and their emotional outbursts. Rumors began to circulate in Reykjavik that the star was running a cult. So, lots of fun, lots of Waco shit happening in Iceland, with a bunch of women and, like they said, non-binary people, joining in at this Airbnb, right? I mean, it's just he's basically like the poor man's Jared Leto. See, Jared gets away with a bad superhero movie and a bad interpret. He's in the DC universe. He's the worst Joker known to man, and shit. But he gets to also be in a band and have his own religion, right? And have his own guru thing where he has 2,000 women at a campsite where they pay $2,000 each for a tent and a cot and a hot plate, and then they get to do hot yoga for a week. And but he gets to do that because he's doing it the smart way. He's not sexually assaulting and beating these women, at least not in open air out of an Airbnb. Again, he's got this is he's got to get local ordinance approval, to rent out the space, the whole prairie that they do the naked hot yoga in, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So Ezra, I think if they went the proper channels, right, they could have made this work and function. But I think it all started with the 12-year-old, and that's kind of a no-no. And then, you go from there. It's harder to get away with. That's what I'm saying. The way that they set it up. So they're kind of were set up for failure from the get. Later on in the report, which also included allegations around the nature of the relationship between Takata and Miller, we also learned about a concerning series of incidents. Let me pull this up for y'all. Involving an 11-year-old child, now 12, who identifies as non-binary. The mother of the child told the outlet that the actor, quote, showed an inappropriate interest in her 11-year-old, complimenting, quote, the child's style and maturity level, and asked whether they were interested in starting a clothing line together. Okay, all right. I come up to you, and because you want to be a father, I come up to you, Lorenzo, and your daughter, Lorenzette, and I say, oh my God, isn't she the prettiest little 10-year-old? And she is so mature. Her breasts are really growing. I can tell because there's definition. And And really, a girl that busty should be in the fashion industry with me, and we need to start a line pronto. Don't you agree, Lorenzette? And you're like, this is where you chime in, hey, no. And I'm like, oh, I'm not talking to you, you know. I'm talking to this mature young woman you have before you in your presence, that all you've done is taken a hand in what? Creating? Okay. I'm talking to the genius in our midst, Lorenzette here. Okay. So let's take a step back and let her make some decisions for herself. Please and thank you. Maybe they're not even her. Maybe they're non-binary. Did you ever think of that? And then turning the girl against you, right? So, I mean, it was a whole process that he did, not just once with Iron Eyes, but also with, you know, so-and-so here and so on. It's a pattern of behavior, of grooming these young girls on whatever pretense, and then getting their parents' approval by some means or another, or getting them to sneak off away from their parents. You know, it's the mother of the child told the outlet showed an inappropriate interest. The 12-year-old now says to Insider, I did want it to happen. It sounded perfect. The mother was successful in obtaining a harassment protection order against Miller, however, so that's good that they were able to prevent any further
you look
continuance.
Son, if I have anybody with me and a stranger approaches, I'm gonna be like, and if it's a child and you a grown ass motherfucker, you're not getting close to them. Just you know what I'm saying? Because that's not gonna fly. You know what I'm saying? Even let's say I'm watching like somebody's kid or some shit because they paid me like $1,000 to do it for the day, because that's how it would cost, at least that much. Okay, and like not a full day. I mean like few hours, maybe 4. You know what I'm saying? But let's say that occurs. You know what I'm saying? Or let's say I'm with someone who has kids and they go to the bathroom or some shit. If a motherfucker come up trying to act all friendly and shit, son, you not getting close. You ain't getting close.
Yeah.
And if you like, oh, I know them, I'm like, I don't give a fuck who know who, motherfucker. You gonna back the fuck up, or you get smiggity smack the fuck up, boy.
That's correct.
Step like a goddamn staircase. You know what I'm saying? I was somebody who had, boy, oh. And then if it was mine, and then motherfucker, I'm on impulse. I'm like kicking you in your head, and I'll be like, "Oh, it's a twitch. I got physical Tourette's."
Yeah. Whatever it takes. I mean, truly, because I mean, like, here's this unhinged person who's got a record of crazy behavior, and like, you're well within your right to take precautions. You know, if that means, and that's, I'm sure these parents beat themselves up. I'm sure the second one, you know, can sleep well at night knowing that they stopped this from the get. You know, they stopped it as soon as possible. They got a protective order, whatever the case was, you know. But I'm sure that the Native American people, they feel like they failed their kid in so many ways, because they thought, okay, here's the celebrity with some means, well off. They didn't know as much as people know now, given that this child is sort of like the example of this behavior, the first real documented instance. But no, I mean, yeah, as soon as you start to see these patterns emerge, if you see something that's making you even remotely uncomfortable and it involves your child and a grown-ass adult, I mean, it's time to, you act however you need to act to get your kid out of that situation. There's no two ways about it. And if it gets physical, it gets physical. Like that mom did in retrieving her daughter. I mean, she went and risked life and limb just trying to get her kid back, you know? And it's not like her child was emancipated. It's not like her child, this was somebody who was still in their parents' custody, who was removed of them, you know, who was effectively kidnapped. What I don't understand is how there wasn't like an international retrieval, or, you know, how, you know, there wasn't a search effort by
Did they not call
law enforcement. I don't think so. I think maybe there might have been, and that's the thing dealing with celebrities, right? Like, I'm going to be speculating now, but when you're dealing with people with big major movie deals like this, with real money on the line, like hundreds of $1 million hanging in the balance, like real career shifting shit, there's a lot that gets suppressed. And what I'm willing to wager is that there were likely threats made against this child's life if law enforcement was involved. So it took a almost a surgical effort to extract this girl. It took her mom, I'm sure, showing up alone to go get her daughter, because there's no other explanation why there wasn't an international search effort by law enforcement, to
I could see that.
retrieve this girl in Iceland or wherever the mom had to show up. So very, very spooky, very weird, but if you put two and two together, I'm sure there were a lot of legal forces and stuff at play that suppressed a lot of this information. I'm sure this is only half the story that we're getting with these articles, even, so I'm sure there's a few NDAs floating out there as well.
It's so wild because like kids are dumb as shit too.
Yeah.
They'll believe like literally anything anybody says.
Sure will.
Mm-mm-mm.
They'll believe God exists and that he's Ezra Miller.
Oh shit!
And that they're gonna get a fashion line with this person up here
with the Messiah.
with the Messiah, yeah. Or where's the picture of them with the eyes? Oh, whatever. I don't give a fuck.
Oh my God.
So what have they said about the allegations against them? In mid-August, Variety obtained a long overdue statement from Miller via a representative of the actor. Having recently gone through a time of an intense crisis, I now understand that I am suffering complex mental health issues and have begun ongoing treatment, Miller said. I want to apologize to everyone that I have alarmed and upset with my past behavior. I'm committed to doing the necessary work to get back to a healthy, safe, and productive stage of my life.
Somebody wrote that for him.
Absolutely.
Without a doubt.
Without so much as a doubt.
Yeah, I wrote it actually. I got paid a lot of money for it.
What's going on between Ezra and Warner Bros? Murmurs of studio anxieties first emerged in the spring of 2022 as Miller was arrested twice while living in Hawaii. That statement I read before was after these events. On April 20th, 2022, according to the Hawaii Police Department, Miller was taken into temporary custody for second-degree assault in the early morning at a private residence in the district of Puna. A news release said, during the course of their investigation, police determined that the individual, later identified as Ezra Miller, became irate after being asked to leave and reportedly threw a chair, striking a 26-year-old female on the forehead, resulting in an approximate half-inch cut. That was the second arrest. As for the first, according to the Associated Press, Miller was also arrested in Hawaii, at a Hawaii karaoke bar at the end of March. Hawaii Police Assistant Chief Kenneth Quiocho told the Associated Press that Miller took issue with patrons singing "Shallow" from The Star is Born. As the Associated Press report detailed, Miller, quote, grabbed a mic from a singing woman and lunged at a man playing darts before authorities charged them with disorderly conduct and harassment. There were more incidents, too. Miller was reportedly the subject of multiple police calls in March. Here's how the AP classified the incidents via info from Quiocho. They were Manini incidents, a Hawaii pidgin term that can mean minor or small, such as filming people at a gas station, refusing to leave the sidewalk area of a restaurant, and arguing with people. Okay, I didn't know that was it. We can add that to the back pocket of Hawaiian terminology. The same AP story detailing Miller's arrest revealed a court complaint against Miller filed by two Hawaii residents. The complaint alleged that Miller burst into the bedroom of the petitioner or plural here, I guess there might have been more than one, and threatened the alleged male victim by, quote, saying, "I will bury you and your slut wife." The residents filed a restraining order against them, as well as alleged that Miller stole some of their belongings, which included a passport and wallet. 2 weeks later, however, the AP followed up with the news that the two individuals dropped the restraining order against Miller. The lawyer for the two residents, William Dean, declined to comment on why they dropped the restraining order. Okay, so I mean, a lot of meltdowns, a lot of crazy cuckoo nonsense, fighting people, screaming at people for singing certain songs at a karaoke bar, a lot of wild shit. I wanted to pull up this. I remember this one around. We haven't read this so far.
Did you want to fight?
But there's something of a fan meetup on a set somewhere, right?
Whoa, bro.
And he tackles this woman to the ground who just wants to meet him and say hi. Perhaps, right? I mean, look at this.
You want to learn it? Did you want to fight? Is that the deal? Whoa, bro.
So, I mean, imagine you're like walking up to like, maybe not your idol, but somebody you've seen in movies. You're like, hey, bro, what's going on? She's grooving, she's dancing,
She looks like that might be her idol. I don't know.
putting on the moves, and then like what's going on?
Because it looks like she's still smiling while it's going on.
Yeah, because she's like, oh, we're playing. He's touching me. Okay.
Did you want to fight? Is that the deal?
He's like, what? So, and that's not staged, nothing. I mean, like, that is really, it looks like this is the aftermath of something he may have done here in this thumbnail. I'm not sure how accurate that is, or if that's just clickbait.
Some stuffy stuff.
Yeah. So, I mean, like this is no laughing matter, really. I mean, this is all serious shit, and it's like repeated over and over again. So, all of that. We still have this movie released just because he apologized to producers. I mean, like, how crazy is that? Just because he's able to say sorry to James Gunn and sorry to damn whoever the director is, Muschietti.
Maybe I will start. Maybe I will learn when it comes down to it, and it's something big enough. I'll learn how to do it.
You'll learn how to do what?
How to apologize.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really don't even. You are skirting around even the idea of an apology. Goodness gracious.
I just don't think I could do it.
So vague. I didn't even know what we were referring to anymore. Yeah. With the caveat of that this ran in advance of Miller's apology to Warner Brothers, a report from Deadline alleges that Miller would not remain as the DCU's big screen Flash following the film's release. Still, James Gunn and Peter Safran's, I don't know how to say this fucker's name. Peter Safran City. Recent interview with the Hollywood Reporter made it sound like Miller's future in the DCEU was more uncertain. Okay, so Miller might be back, might not be. We don't know yet, but it seems like they're focused on their recovery. So round of applause for Ezra. Let's go ahead and get that mental health in check. Boo-boo. Get it. Queen. Slay. Slay, bitch.
You know they're not actually going to do it, but,
Yeah.
Kudos,
I just wanted to real quick, I know it's an hour and a half in. I'm sorry, you guys. That beginning thing with my Nana and trying to audition, that took me by surprise. I did not anticipate getting into that at all. It's nowhere in our document here. None of it.
We have so much to talk about, so much to do. We're just trying to give quality content to you.
Exactly. And I love that. Where did that come from? Holy cow.
Off the dome keys.
Off that dome. We're going to have to record some music or something. If you got flow like that.
Call up Lazarus in it.
Call up Lazarus. Let's get him on. But I wanted to compare this. And there's a story going around about this lady, Colleen Ballinger. I don't know if you're familiar with Miranda Sings at all. Miranda Sings, you ever heard of her? You've definitely seen her, but yeah, the name probably isn't recognizable to you. I think we'll have to save that. We'll figure it out, but I do want to cover that. I really, really do, because that is like, that's crazy on a level that I can really dig into. I don't need a big article to explain. I'm following this. I'm tracking this, so that'll be fun. But I wanted to compare Ezra. I made a brief comparison last time when we talked about The Flash to the Jonathan Majors situation. There's an update with old Johnny.
Ooh.
Anthony Mackie has spoken out in regards to the situation. Anthony Mackie, of course, is the new Captain America, also known as Falcon.
Captain Falcon.
He becomes the first Marvel star to address Jonathan Majors' abuse allegations. Anthony Mackie has responded to allegations facing fellow Marvel star. When I saw this, I thought, okay, this could be good, bad, I don't know, but at least people are talking about it. Other people are chiming in now, you know. And this is a person, I mean, Jonathan Majors did like one thing. I mean, what did he do exactly? He like shoved somebody, right? Is that the allegation, or like he like forced a lady in a
It's
car, or
something like that, yeah.
let's pull up. Well, let's see what Anthony has to say here, and then we'll pull up what we need to after that. But I just wanted to compare side by side. Okay, we have somebody. We just went through a billet of things, and the movie still came out, and they still walked the press event for the movie, right? Ezra Miller, and then we have Jonathan Majors here, who played the villain Kang in the popular Marvel Cinematic Universe film franchise, was arrested on charges of strangulation, assault, and harassment over an alleged incident involving an ex-partner. The Creed 3 star, 33, has maintained his innocence, with his lawyers alleging in a statement, Jonathan Majors is innocent and has not abused anyone. We have provided irrefutable evidence to the district attorney that the charges are false. We are confident that he will be fully exonerated. After the news of his allegations broke, Majors was dropped by his management team. While the U.S. Army pulled a number of advertisements featuring the actor from circulation, he was also reportedly dropped from a forthcoming adaptation of the Walter Mosley novel, The Man in My Basement. After first playing Kang in the 2021 Marvel series Loki and reprising the role in this year's Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, Majors had been lined up as the main franchise villain throughout the next few years, culminating in a 2-film arc in Avengers: The Kang Dynasty and Avengers: Secret War. So, already, I mean, the charges were outlined: strangulation, assault, and harassment over an alleged incident. Alleged. Okay, so like, we don't know what any of the records are. This is not public information. Right, all that is made public is what has been alleged thus far. And we have three things here to even think about. And then, I mean, look, let's just flash back over, if I might.
Ooh, I like that. I like that transition.
I mean, do we count the amount of people that this person like physically assaulted? That we have documentation of like the injuries. I mean, the lady got her arm slammed in the door. We got threw a chair at somebody, cut the forehead. We got. I mean, if we were gonna play the hits, Ezra's our man, or are them. Ezra's are them. I'm so bad at this. Listen, I'm about like this podcast. It'll never take off. It'll never take off because I'm gonna kill it on arrival. As soon as we get like an influx of even like 500 dedicated viewers, 50 of them are gonna notice how bad I am at this pronoun shit, and then it's all gonna come crashing down. We're gonna have to be on the Daily Wire, which is the last thing I want. The last thing I want is to be on Rumble, but it's gonna have to happen because I'm so bad at this shit.
We're only human.
I don't even.
We do our
I don't even hate it. I'm just bad at it. I mean, that's the honest. I try to remember, but like, I don't know. This is the guy to me, a colloquial guy. What can I say? And he's attractive too. Ezra Miller, can I say for the record, Ezra Miller is my type.
Nah, yeah, I can see it.
I mean, honest to God.
Maybe you should take them off the streets and they don't have to.
I mean, Ezra, middle name fuckable, last name Miller.
Shut the fuck up. He looks like a goddamn vampire. Looks like he belongs in.
Yeah, and I'm cool with that. That's fine. And I mean, you know, he does like the stress ball jaw thing. You know.
Oh, is that what it is?
The jaw workout thing. You know, you buy like those rubber things you chew on, like the dude on Instagram, or like the TikTok dude with the crazy jaw. Oh my God, TikTok jaw.
I only chew food. So.
You ever seen this guy? You have to have seen this guy. He got memed on so hard. This dude. Where he chews on this fucking thing.
What the fuck?
So, so he's not quite on that, but he's getting there. He did it in a healthy way. He didn't go overboard.
Is that the new end? It looks like a filter. Is that a filter?
That's his fucking face. That's what this guy
Why
looks
would he
like
do
now.
that? 4K.
It's a muscle group. I mean, he tapped into it. So
He must have listened to our one podcast about not having a neck for less sweet spots. But so I guess when someone tries to chop his neck, he could block it with his jaw.
oh
So
yeah.
I kind of get that. He's like, it's too much work to get rid of my neck, but to make my jaw a shield, that's completely possible. Maybe he's getting ready for a fight and he doesn't want his jaw to be broken.
Well, actually, I was listening to Joe Rogan talk about that because he was like shilling a similar product. It was like a hexagon thing, like a stress ball material that you chew on. And then the person he had as a guest, I'm looking behind me. I thought I heard somebody. There's someone in the hallway. Make sure I'm not getting
Someone
snuck
with
up
a
on.
fucking jaw stress balls behind you.
I know.
There's probably
I'm
Ezra
nervous.
Miller
The stress ball industry is.
crocodile.
Yeah.
Who knows?
The stress jaw industry is coming for me.
Oh shit.
No, but so he was selling a product or just like plugging it on his show, and somebody, the guest at the time, was like, so what's the benefit of exercising your jaw like that? And he was like, well, I guess if you're a fighter, it'll help you take a punch, maybe it'll help you sustain a blow to the jaw. I guess, but I don't think maybe Ezra Miller anticipated the amount of assaults he would be leveling against
Hey, when you live by assault, you die by assault.
women and non-binary people alike. Yeah. So very cool for them. I mean, very cute. Like, look at that. He's adorable. I could definitely see myself with this. Absolutely, fucking lootly. I mean, that'd be a dream. I mean, for real.
Oh my fucking God.
And you know why it works all the way through? It's because this person's crazy as fuck, and that again fits my MO completely. I mean, it's always a fucking insane person.
Oh, they're in all the Fantastic Beasts movies?
Yeah, they're a Fantastic Beast.
Are they the main character?
One of them.
Oh.
There's like a dedicated cast. He's I don't know what the name of his person is. Credence something.
Oh.
Yeah. So, but they're in like I want to say two of the. Yeah, this one and this one. So.
Stuff that I've never heard of. Suicide Squad?
Suicide Squad. I think that's just a cameo. Like they show up real quick fighting Captain Boomerang or whatever,
Oh.
You know at the part where like Batman beats up Will Smith and shit.
Oh yeah.
Like there's a part where Ezra comes and beats up his people.
Word.
It's a shame we won't get to see this. Justice League Part 2.
I was wondering about that. I was like, what the world?
Or I guess this is just the Snyder version split into two parts. I don't even know what this is.
Yeah, you know say. They've been in a bunch of movies and I just didn't see half of the movies and didn't recognize them in the others.
Yeah. Fun shit. What was I gonna say? Oh, so anyway, I don't know how we got onto that tangent.
I know, right?
You can't even compare in good faith the amount of like the laundry list of crimes this person's like committed to what Jonathan Majors is going through, because it's not even confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
Right? These are allegations still. So Anthony Mackie goes as far as to say, when he was asked about Majors' future involvement in the MCU, the Captain America star responded, "We're a country that was built on everyone is innocent until proven guilty. That's one of the staples of this country. Nothing has been proven about this dude. Nothing. So everyone is innocent until proven guilty. That's all I can say. It's crazy where we are as a society, but as a country, everyone is innocent until proven guilty." He hit the point home, and that made perfect. I don't feel one way or the other about this dude right here in this picture. But everything Captain America said, and I love that he was the one to say it, very diplomatic.
Yeah.
In our country, you know, take it from Captain fucking America.
Mm-hmm.
Leave this man alone until we figure out what the fuck's going on. Stop canceling his shit. Stop dropping him. How are you gonna drop him? I mean, really, let them have something, you know, material against this dude. Let them have some actual evidence that's materialized that they have in their possession and that's what I want to know when this comes out. I want to know that they found out some shit that none of us else knew that led them to drop this man like that. Because there's no other excuse.
Especially like Disney and shit, they're so quick to just drop people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's wild, like, because like I've said it before, anybody could just say anything about either of us just because they seen our podcasts and heard something they didn't like, and they be like, and they know our names, and they be like, oh, they said this, and they said they did this, and they did this. We don't even know who the fuck they are, and they just saying shit about us.
And we went into detail early on with this, talking about things coming out, and I remember there was one account by somebody who worked with him that didn't like him. They had a beef of some kind. It was like some gay dude director.
They have more beef than Arby's.
Yeah. Or what?
They have more beef than Arby's.
Yeah.
Arby's got the meats.
It was some little dainty gay guy who had an issue with Jonathan Majors here because they disagreed on direction and they disagreed on the way a thing was going creatively. And I think it was the director of a project. And so when they went to give like testimony or they went to speak on his character, they had nothing kind to say whatsoever. And that's kind of been the discourse so far, is just people chiming in who don't like him very much, saying like, well, he wasn't very nice to me, so I could definitely see this happening. Or, you know, he was very forward, very hurt and difficult to work with on some things, and not very cooperative. So, you know
what the thing is too? It's like, because this isn't even, oh, he was, you know what I'm saying, he goes around punching grandmas in the face. This is just like, oh, well, he didn't fucking say hi to me. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I don't say hi to people neither. You know why? Because I don't fucking like y'all. So, you know what I'm saying? Kindly insert my member into your mouth parts and
couldn't have put it better myself.
With such emotion.
And that's just the thing. So, and now he's returning in court to file a complaint against the person accusing him, saying that he was the victim of abuse at their hands. So, I mean, like, now it's going both ways. So I'm interested to see what comes forth out of all this and to see who's proven wrong here. Will be interesting. It could be a situation of him being silenced, of him being, men can be abused too. I know everyone's going to point to, here's this dude in Creed 3, trained to the gills, muscled out the ass. He's been working out for years and years in Marvel movies, and he's the Army mascot, or he was, until they dropped his ass. So people will say that and leverage that against him, but women understand that too, and when they get in these relationships, some women feel so emboldened to be like, I know he's not going to hit me, I know he's not going to do anything, so I'm going to do that to him instead, and they get away with it. I'm not saying that's all women. It is most certainly not. That's the minority of women in situations like that, but it does happen. It's been known to happen.
It happens more than people talk about it.
It happens more than people talk about it.
All of them know that they all know. So the first time a woman hits you, that's where she tests you, and she knows if you're gonna hit her back or not. And then,
it's like a child too, and I'm not comparing women to children, but I'm saying people who are seemingly defenseless will test their boundaries, and when they test their boundaries and those boundaries are set and created, or if they aren't set, they'll operate within whatever has been outlined for them to operate within. And then that's when you see these pit bulls. When you see like dogs, I used to know this big pit bull, neighbor's dog, they called him Fathead, and he was like the saddest, most pitiful dog you ever saw. And like he was like Eeyore, this big ass fucking monster of a dog that could tear somebody up on sight in half, right? But he didn't bark, nothing, because they beat this dog to a pulp, I'm sure, behind the scenes, and they made it well known. Like they made this dog feel beat down to the point where it didn't realize that it wasn't defenseless.
Yeah.
You know, where mentally, people, animals, creatures of all walks of life can be made to realize that no matter their circumstance or disposition, they can be emotionally beaten into a corner and feel completely and utterly defenseless. So I'll be interested to see if that's truly what's going on here. If this is just posturing on part of his legal team to hit back, you know, dragging these things out is only to his benefit, because I doubt that this lady is as well off as he is. So as long as they find some way to keep her in court, that'll drive her to settle, I'm sure, is the goal, if what he's saying is not entirely true. But all tactics aside, it's still going on, and Captain America said it best. I mean, innocent until proven guilty. Ezra Miller still has a movie. Ezra Miller is still at this damn red carpet event. I mean, look at this motherfucker, man. Look at him. He is out here.
Mm-hmm.
This is them at the damn event.
Training the jawline and everything.
This is like the backdrop is the movie. That's them out with Ben Affleck doing interviews and shit. Let's see what they have to say. Ezra Miller Flash premiere.
Some of the like key details of a hero, I think he embodies them, you know, really fully. Yeah, I think it's their life experience, right? Their experience base has made them sort of define differently. They processed things differently, and I think they have a different outlook. So you have one Barry who is seasoned and who's been through a lot of...
Yeah, so, I mean, it's all good and well if this person is, like, medicated, sure, but for them not to be, like, straight up iced, you know, cut after everything that happened, it just goes to show things can be done and should be done a lot differently than they were handled with Jonathan Majors. Like, these are different production houses. These are different companies, parent companies entirely. They have different standards of conduct. So that aside, I think that this is a very interesting example of how things could have played out for Jonathan Majors heading up in with Disney.
Indeed. If he was making a whack-ass Green Lantern movie,
Yeah.
he'd have been fine.
He would have been fine, and they still would have put that movie out, and it still would have got 10% on Rotten Tomatoes. And actually, I'm interested to see where Flash is. And I know fucking like Warner Brothers owns Rotten Tomatoes, and it's always going to be like skewed.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, or it's owned by like somebody, some big fucking, I don't know if it's Paramount or Warner Brothers or what, but there's a big company that owns, companies own all these review sites, but the Flash reviews, let's see it. Oh, this is Rotten Tomatoes, 64%. Audience reviews on what? What the fuck? Is this Google audience review, 3.8? Yeah, I don't know. Looks like the overall, though, is around 60%. So,
Damn.
not bad. It's a middling movie. I would say that's about right. That's what I took away. And in fact, just watch the beginning and leave. Done. Save yourself the trouble. So,
Goodness gracious.
wow, what a podcast.
It gets more frustrating through the rest of the movie, so I'd agree. Just after the bridge part, after Batman talks about his trauma because of the lasso of truth, just leave.
Yeah. What did you think about that? Did you think that was stupid or good or what?
I thought it was good. I was like, why is Batman smiling?
Yeah.
And then he was like, my ego's too
Ego's too big to,
Yeah, yeah.
to
And I was like,
apologize. I can't.
And he was like, I have childhood trauma. And everybody's like, yeah, I have childhood trauma. And I was like, oh yeah, the
If I
fucking
wanted
last
to
one.
end, if I wanted to end crime, I should just end poverty. So
Yeah,
you know,
I said that too. I was like, oh shit, he knows. I was like, oh shit, because he knows.
yeah.
Because that's definitely something that, like, that's a conversation. It's like, why doesn't Batman just, like, he's a billionaire, why doesn't he just donate money and get rid of poverty?
Yeah. And then the Flash, his thing was like, I know what sex is. I just haven't experienced. I thought that was in poor taste. I'm like, here's this person with a bunch of sexual misconduct
Yeah.
allegations. I'm like, maybe just steer away from the dumb
Yeah,
sex
yeah,
jokes.
yeah.
But
Oh my god.
I just, I'm not like a snowflake, apologist, nothing. I'm just saying, like, maybe from a PR standpoint, there's so many jokes they could have chosen
Yeah,
from.
that's the little
Out
ones,
the
the little
gate, at the very beginning of your movie, you're going to have the most controversial figurehead of this movie making a sex joke. Okay, hey, sure.
ace.
And it was
yeah.
borderline inappropriate because he's saying that to like regular people. I get he's got the lasso on him or whatever. It's evoking this from him, but it's like that's his first honest impulse is to make a sex remark is
And
not
then, like,
a great start for this fucking
indeed
PR.
not. Indeed not. There could have been other things said. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Could have been other things said.
At least Wonder Woman wasn't 12 years old when he felt the need to say those things.
Oh my god.
I'm sure that helped a lot. Let's get some advice going now. I mean, truly. We're 2 hours in. What a podcast.
Dang, really?
I know.
We
I
be
felt
hit?
like the one we did with the guys was longer, but no, this is double that.
This is so much to fucking talk about.
Absolutely.
Alright. Here's some advice, y'all.
Please.
If you see someone that doesn't have government issued identification that says that they are, a matter of fact, I'm gonna say if they can't buy alcohol, leave them the fuck alone. I mean, like, I guess if you're 19, that's hard to talk to like an 18-year-old, but like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, still that's a red flag though. If you're talking to an 18 or 19-year-old.
If you see a child, don't look at them. Don't comment on them. I feel like this is obvious shit. This isn't advice for normal people. I hope nobody that needs this advice is watching this on this thing.
At least our boy Ryan talks to age-appropriate women.
Yeah, at least Ryan
At least he's stalking people within his age range. You know, I mean, if we want to give, and we do want to give him props because we want him on the show.
Yes.
Bottom line, Ryan, please.
Ezra. So, there you go.
Ryan, hashtag Ryan is better than Ezra.
Hey,
let's get that going, Bussy Boys. Let's get that moving. Ryan Andrews, greater than symbol than Ezra Miller. Hashtag that. Yeah, I like it.
I mean, what else do you need? Like
nothing. You don't need fucking anything. That's it.
You're Ryan on the show. I don't really care to have Ezra on the show because we already know what's up.
Yeah.
Let's have Jonathan Majors on the show so he could tell people.
Oh yeah, I'd love to have Jonathan Majors in here. I want to see how crazy he is up close, and then I'll make I'll take away whatever I do after that.
I'm done. I think he'd be real cool.
I think he'd be cool too. Yeah, he's a great actor, so I think he could hone it. I think Ezra can. We just proved Ezra can hone it in. I mean, look at this.
Heartache and a lot of pain. And you have another Barry who never really had to go through that stuff, who's had sort of all of the privilege of kind of a cushy life. And so the way they've developed is fundamentally different,
I mean, very cogent, very, everything makes sense. You would expect a person who went through everything that they did, or who inflicted all the pain that they did on so many people, to be a little like cuckoo, and they're doing a lot of head movements, sure, whatever. People do that. Pick this apart all you want. That's very normal. Again, though, I'm sure highly medicated at this point, coached for 2 years, behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? So Jonathan Majors is like he's gonna pull it off. I mean, he's gonna look good no matter what. He's with fucking what's her face, Gab.
He's Megan Good, ain't he?
Megan Good. I knew it was a G name. Good Lord Jesus, there's a fire.
Megan Good used to be it back in the day.
Yeah.
She used to be real popular. thing.
She's in the DC universe, right?
Is she?
I think she's one of the Shazam people. Unless I'm... Oh, no, maybe not. Hold on. Let's look this up, and then we'll get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Megan Good.
Shaking my head.
Shazam? Yeah, she's in Shazam, too. She's the adult version of the
Of the little black.
the black girl, yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know. Damn.
Yep, there she is. Boom.
Oh, damn. Who the donkey?
It's because her hair is different. It's like all short and weird.
Yeah, she usually keeps the.
Yeah. But that's her.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Damn, who did
that's what
that?
she looks like in the first movie. It's all weird looking.
Oh, she was in the first two?
Yeah, because they all grow up or they get the powers at the very end of the first one, and then the second one they have powers through the whole movie.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Damn, son. That's wild. I never knew.
Yep.
I want to be in a superhero movie. I'll be in a DC movie. Fuck it. You know?
What if you had a superhero that you could pick? You have your pick of all the DC superheroes, villains. Who would you be?
I want to be a hero so my character doesn't get killed off.
Okay.
But all they have is the Green Lantern. I'll do it.
All they have open?
That's all they have, period. That's who else do they got?
What do you mean?
As far as like black DC heroes.
Oh,
Except
black?
but they did do a thing where it's like another universe where everyone's
I
black.
mean,
anyway.
Cyborg is black.
Damn, how'd I forget about Cyborg?
I think
Sure.
Black Manta's black. They made Black Manta. He's a villain. He's a villain. He's a
Yeah.
villain. He's a villain.
It's a villain.
Damn. No,
And
you're
then
right.
I'd be thinking about the cartoon too, just because Cyborg's in the Teen Titans, not the
Aqualad is black, right? Young
You
Justice.
talking about Young Justice. Okay, I see you. Ooh.
Who
Be
else?
Martian Manhunter.
Black Adam. I know you don't like to call him that.
You mean Adam?
Adam is black.
Look, I'd hate for people to call me Black Lorenzo.
Yeah.
There's not even a regular Adam. He's the only Adam.
Hilarious. Who else? Keep naming people.
Oh shit! Because there's a black woman. She's like has the power of animals and shit. I forget her name.
Animals.
Yeah. I forget her name.
Well, so who would you pick though? It doesn't. Race doesn't matter. You have your pick of all the heroes.
Maybe the Atom.
Okay, like Captain Atom or whatever the fuck his name
Yeah,
is.
because he could like can he shrink and grow and shoot?
Mhm. Well, yeah, there are
Wait.
two people. There's like Atom Man. Who's the silver guy? What's his name?
Oh yeah. Are those two different or are they the same?
Yeah, so the silver guy is Captain Atom, and then
Yeah.
there's Atom Smasher,
Oh,
who like grows and shit.
oh. I think the silver guy grows and shrinks too.
The silver guy has like just like energy powers and shit.
Yeah.
His powers, yeah, his different incarnations have different powers. All this shit changes all the fucking time. It's mostly like energy shit. He's like
Goddamn.
he's like the Silver Surfer of fucking
Yeah.
DC, pretty much.
Mm-mm-mm.
So you'd be him.
I don't know. He seems kind of lame. I think he could. He gets the energy, but he could like fly and shrink.
He can
I thought
fly.
Yeah.
I think he can shrink. Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Come on, you got this. Just have to pick
know.
somebody.
Ah,
Pick your top 3, and then I'll narrow it down for you.
okay, my top 3. I'll say Black Adam. I'll say Superman because obviously he's like the strongest character outside of the fucking rocks and shit. And then I'll say Green Lantern. Fuck it. Isn't
Okay.
there like a red tornado or some shit, but I don't think he's all that for real.
I'd like you to read Aquafresh as Hal Jordan.
Oh my god.
This is your audition.
Uh-huh.
So
All right.
go ahead, take a second,
Uh-huh.
skim it.
Um,
You think you have it?
I got it.
All right, take it away. This is
All right.
Hal Jordan reading Aquafresh.
Take the feeling of clean to the extreme. Microactive foam showers your whole mouth as it seeks out germs that cause bad breath, then rinses away, leaving only a cool, tingling sensation that just won't quit. New Extreme Clean from Aquafresh.
I think I'd like to sign you. Yeah.
Brilliant. That's what I'm talking about.
I think we got something. No, for real.
Yeah, give me my fucking.
That was good. What was the rating? 1 to 10? That was easily 9.5 right there. And I know you're
So-
tired, but even like the low energy was what we were looking for. Oh my god. So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Oh wait, hold on. I'm getting word that you've been dropped by your management team because a lady said that you cut her off in a McDonald's drive-thru and hurled racial epithets at her to include your milkshake. You know, I don't know if we have footage of the video, but I think we're gonna have to get the legal team to walk back our negotiations. I'm so sorry.
I just want you to know I definitely did that shit.
We have George Lopez here reading for another movie, but I mean, he was my first pick. If I'm going to be on for Hal, I said George all the way. If I'm going to be completely candid with you, so I think we're going to bring him in for a cold read. Thank you so much for joining us, but yikes, you sound guilty as hell, and I can't wait to see you behind bars for borderline assaulting this woman.